Welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ, your premier destination for election news and information. We are proud to present a brand new series designed to help you discover each candidate's platform. Join us where all candidates from all parties are welcome. Every candidate, every party, no filter. Let's jump in.
Hi, and welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ Presents Candidate Spotlight. I'm Linda SYNC-O-WICZ. I'm the founder and CEO of Fight Voter Fraud, and we are just thrilled to have our new series of candidates. And today's candidate is from Connecticut. She is running for the 1st Congressional District, and that's Dr. Amy Chai. Nice to
Hi,
welcome.
Linda.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad
Thanks so much.
we are so glad to have you on. I guess the first thing we should ask you is why you are running for the 1st Congressional District for Congress here in Connecticut.
Well, I believe that America is broken. America has lost control of our own country. I believe that our nation isn't representing the people, the citizens anymore. We're seeing division. We're seeing incursions by extremist leftist ideology. And we're seeing so many problems with fraud. We're seeing problems in our healthcare system. We're seeing problems with mental illness. And as a physician who has worked with the addicted and the mentally ill and the most severely ill people in my community, I see it every day. I see the problems that are there. And I believe that we can prevent a lot of these problems. We can fix a lot of these problems. But right now, the policies that we have are literally weaponizing people's traumas. They are literally incentivizing people to be sicker and more divided. And this is something that I can't just stand by. I can't just stand by and watch it happen. I need to step up to the plate. I need to do my best to do something about it.
And why do you think the voters should vote for you over any other candidate that would be running?
Well, right now, my opponent is John Larson. He is a grandfatherly figure. He's been in office for probably 30 years. The only thing he ever talks about is Social Security. He never talks about the future. He never talks about education. He never talks about the children. He never talks about anything other than resisting our duly elected administration and hands off Social Security. He has no vision whatsoever other than resisting the current administration. And frankly, that's not what the citizens of Connecticut need.
Well, we definitely appreciate the fact that you are running. You've got other ideas, and you also have a medical background. You're a physician,
Correct.
and you live in the Hartford County area because that's where the 1st Congressional District
Well,
is.
I've lived in Connecticut now for about 15 years. I've been around the country quite a bit because my husband has been an academic physician. So
Oh, wow.
I work in the community. I see the people who live on the streets. I see the bad Democrat policies that propagate poverty and dependency and addiction and mental illness. And these are things that don't have to happen.
And how would you change those?
Well, I'm actually working, and I don't want to tout the book that I'm working on, but I'm working on a book called Addiction Proof Your Kids. And I am very, very strongly in favor of preventive psychiatry. Right now, we know a lot of the things that cause mood disorders and anxiety disorders and PTSD and identity diffusion disorders. And yet, we do nothing to stop them or prevent them. And frankly, there really isn't any money in prevention. And I hate to say that, but that's actually the truth. We need to repair families. We need to repair relationships. We need to change the incentive structures that hurt families, that hurt children. We need to stop interfering with the identity formation of innocent children in the public schools. These things are hurting children. And frankly, for my own selfish reasons, I would love to be able to retire someday without thinking that I'm abandoning a world of hurt, which I see out there. Our society does not have to be this way. We need healing.
So you're a visionary. You see what needs to be done. You see what the issues are versus your candidate that you would be running against, who basically doesn't have the vision. It's the same things. And he, as you said, he's been there for 30 years. So you'd consider him a career politician?
Yes. Frankly, I am tired of career politicians who have no life experience whatsoever, who have no interest in listening to the needs of the people, especially here in Connecticut, where we have a Democrat supermajority that has kind of turned into a totalitarian state, forcing legislation down people's throats without even considering the cost or considering the human damage that it's going to cause. There is no outcomes analysis. There is no concern for what the policies are doing to families and children. There is a stranglehold by our public sector unions. There's a complete lack of accountability. And all of these things are hurting people in Connecticut. And I'm tired of watching it happen. I'm tired of standing by and being helpless. And I want to give people their voice. I want to give people a choice. I want to listen to people and help actually solve problems instead of subsidizing them.
So you do have a vision of what you could do differently than what the current congressional representative from Connecticut has done over the past 30 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All they do is vote however they're told to vote and repeat the talking points that they're told to say. There's no listening. There's nothing behind the facade. Nothing.
Right. And we don't want to keep hearing the same rhetoric that is out there. Anything that President Trump stands for is wrong. We actually have to do things for we the people. And I'm guessing you are actually reaching out across the aisle. It doesn't matter what party you're from. You really want people to think for themselves and see what's happening.
Exactly. And I know psychology quite well. I did take an oath. I'm not going to use it to manipulate people, but I do see what the political operatives are doing and why, how they are weaponizing people's fears, how they are weaponizing people's emotions. I have had people come into my office suicidal because of politics. That shouldn't be happening in the United States of America. The division is not an accident and it's not natural. It is a technique to gain power. It's a wedge, it's leverage. It's turning people against each other on purpose. It's about digging at people's amygdalas, at their brain stems, at the place where the seat of their emotions is, and creating that fear and that hatred and that othering of other people. They're doing it on purpose. I will never, never do that. I took an oath. I will never do that.
If you had an opportunity to write legislation, what would be your number one priority if and when you're elected to Congress?
Well, I already have legislation for everything because I'm kind of a policy geek, but I do have a three-piece bill that is called the Transparency Act. And it involves radical transparency for our our financial life here in America, radical transparency for legislation, and radical transparency for the education system. And this transparency, I've calculated how much it would cost and how much it would cost to run every year, and potentially how much it could save as we run AI chatbots over it to look for evidences of fraud or problems or inefficiencies. And it's a way for American citizens to take back their power, because you can't have power if you don't have knowledge, if you don't know where your money's going, if you don't know what's being taught in your schools, if you don't know what legislation is coming up, you have no power. You have no way to complain because you don't even have the language for it. You don't even know what's going on. And right now, I'm sure anyone who's tried to do a FOIA request here in Connecticut has struggled to try to get basic information, and that's wrong. It's our country, it's our money, it's our schools, it's our legislation. These people work for us. We are not their subjects, they are our servants.
Right. And living in Connecticut is a little bit different than living in other states across the country, because many people may not know that this is where the head of the Communist Party is located.
Yes.
Everything that is done to the citizens of Connecticut is just horrific. And you also want to make sure it doesn't happen to the rest of the country, but to help straighten out Connecticut on what is going on, to actually have representation in Washington so they can't take advantage of the citizens as they have been doing for a number of years here in Connecticut. So I was going to ask this question. Do you support only U.S. citizens voting in the U.S. elections?
Of course. I think that what we've seen with the massive, uncontrolled millions of immigrations is an attempted coup of our nation. It's designed to take over our country. It's designed to change our country into a collectivist society of dependent people who are going to simply, I guess, obey or follow or vote for one side, because it's totalitarianism and it's wrong. And I strongly support only citizen voting.
Excellent. That's what our country is built upon. And at one point, we don't know exactly when it was, we kind of got strayed away from what the United States of America is about. So, once again, why should people vote for you for Congress in the 1st Congressional District here in Connecticut? What would be your top reasons why and what you want to get out to your constituents?
I want to put the United back into the United States. I want to bring your government back to you. I want our government to be of, by, and for the people. And you are the people. I'm here to give you your government back. I offer my services as a problem solver and visionary to you to help work out some of the most complex problems that we have in this state and in this nation. And I promise to you, I will never lie to you. I will never gaslight you. I will never turn on you for my own gain or for money, because I love America and I want to see America prosper.
So people can go to your website, which is chaiforcongress.com. They can read information about you. And one other thing that they can help with is obviously donating to your campaign, because it does take finances to move campaigns forward. Do you have an email if people wanted to reach out to you, that they could send you an email or ask you a question?
Absolutely. And I do answer all my own emails. It would be at connect@chaiforcongress.com. And I welcome anyone who wants to come out and help me. This is about you. It's not about me.
You need support in order to move forward. We need people to know your name, Amy Chai, but not only Amy Chai, it's Dr. Amy Chai. So you have put your platform out there that you want to support all Americans. You see the issues that are going on, and you want to replace a career politician who's been in office for over 30 years. We need change.
We sure do.
And we need somebody like you who will represent the state of Connecticut, that people will be proud are a member of Congress from the state of Connecticut, which will be something that will be quite unusual since we haven't had that in a very, very long time. So in closing, what would you like to say to your voters?
Don't give up. This is your country. Take it back. That's what I'd like to say.
Well, we want to thank you so much, Dr. Amy Chai, for coming on our SYNC-O-WICZ Presents Candidate Spotlight series. And again, this is for the state of Connecticut, but you will also be representing the United States when you're in Congress. So thank you so much for coming on. We wish you luck and hope to see you again a little closer to November.
Thanks
Thank you.
so much for having me on. It's been great.